The 22 short is one of the easiest cartridges to laugh at. Tiny case, tiny bullet, almost no recoil, barely any noise compared to serious rifle rounds. To most shooters, it looks like something from another era, a cartridge that should have disappeared decades ago. But here's what makes it interesting. The 22 short is not just an old rimfire round. It is one of the most historically important cartridges in American firearm history. It helped shape pocket pistols, gallery shooting, small game hunting, training, and early rimfire design. And even today, it still has a strange place in the shooting world. Not because it's powerful, not because it competes with modern cartridges, but because it does a few things so quietly and efficiently that many shooters don't realize why it still exists. So today, we're breaking down 6 shocking facts about the .22 short they don't want you to know. Not hype, not nonsense, just the truth about one of the smallest cartridges that somehow refuses to disappear. Number 1, it's older than most people realize. The 22 short is not just old, it is extremely old. It dates back to the 1850s, which makes it one of the oldest metallic cartridges still recognized today. That alone is shocking. Most cartridges from that era are museum pieces now. They're not something modern shooters talk about, buy, or occasionally still use, but the 22 short survived, and that tells you something. It was simple, cheap, easy to shoot, and useful enough that it never completely vanished. When people talk about classic American cartridges, they usually mention rounds like .3030 Winchester, .3006 Springfield, or .4570 Government. But the 22 short came before all of them. It existed before modern repeating rifles became common, before smokeless powder took over, before most of the cartridges hunters know today were even invented. That makes it more than just a tiny rimfire. It makes it part of the foundation of American cartridge history, and that's something most shooters never think about when they see a little box of 22 short on a shelf. Number 2, it was never meant to be a powerhouse. A lot of people judge the 22 short unfairly because they compare it to the wrong cartridges. They compare it to .22 LR. They compare it to .22 Magnum. Some even compare it to centerfire rounds, which makes no sense. The .22 short was never designed to be a powerhouse. It was designed for simple, close-range work, low recoil, low noise, basic accuracy, minimal cost. That was the whole point. And when you understand that, the cartridge starts making more sense. The .22 short is not trying to be a hunting rifle round for serious field use. It's not trying to be a long-range cartridge. It's not trying to replace .22 LR. It was built for very limited, very specific use. Small pests, indoor gallery shooting, basic training, close range target work. And in those roles, it actually makes sense. The problem is that modern shooters often judge every cartridge by power, but power was never the selling point here. The selling point was control. You can shoot it with almost no recoil. You can train beginners without intimidating them. You can use it in the right firearm for very quiet, low impact practice where legal and safe. That's why it survived. Not because it hits hard, but because it's easy. Number 3, it helped create the shooting gallery era. This is one of the coolest parts of .22 short history. The .22 short became strongly connected to old shooting galleries. Before modern ranges were everywhere, shooting galleries were common entertainment in fairs, amusement parks, and public spaces. People would shoot small rimfire rifles at moving targets, metal plates, or novelty targets, and the 22 short was perfect for that kind of shooting. Why? Because it had low recoil, low report, low cost, and enough accuracy for short-range targets. That made it ideal for controlled shooting environments. It wasn't loud and punishing like larger cartridges. It didn't require a heavy rifle. It allowed people to shoot repeatedly without much fatigue. For many Americans, the 22 short was one of their first introductions to shooting. Not through hunting, not through military training, but through simple marksmanship and entertainment. That's a huge part of firearm culture that often gets forgotten. Today, most shooters see the .22 short as outdated, but at one time, it helped make shooting accessible to the public. It was part of the reason rimfire shooting became so common. And without that early role, the popularity of 22 LR might not have developed the same way. Number 4, it can be surprisingly quiet. One reason some shooters still pay attention to the 22 short is noise. Compared to standard .22 LR, the 22 short can be noticeably quieter depending on the firearm and load. That makes it interesting for certain types of controlled target shooting, pest control where legal, and low noise practice. But this is where people need to be realistic. Quiet does not mean silent, and quiet does not mean casual. It is still a firearm cartridge. It still requires safe backstops. It still requires hearing protection depending on the setup, and it still demands full firearm safety. But compared to louder rimfire and centerfire cartridges, the 22 short has a softer report that many shooters find useful. This is one reason it didn't disappear completely. There are times when less noise is an advantage. Number 6. It still exists because it fills a niche. The most shocking thing about the 22 short may be this: it still has a reason to exist. Not for everyone, not for every rifle, not for every shooter, but for a niche group, it still makes sense. Collectors like it because of history. Some shooters like it because it's mild and nostalgic. Some use it for short-range target work. Some use it in older firearms designed around it. And some simply enjoy the experience of shooting something that feels like a piece of history. That matters, because not every cartridge has to be the fastest, strongest, or most efficient to be worth talking about. Some cartridges survive because they offer something different. The 22 short offers simplicity. It offers low recoil. It offers low noise. It offers history. And it reminds shooters that not every firearm experience has to be about maximum performance. Sometimes the value of a cartridge is not in what it can destroy. It's in what it teaches. Control, patience, marksmanship, respect for limitations, and understanding that even the smallest cartridge still deserves serious handling. The real lesson. The 22 short is easy to underestimate, but it's also easy to overhype. The truth is somewhere in the middle. It is historically important. It is extremely mild. It can be surprisingly quiet. It helped shape early American shooting culture. And it still fills a small but real niche today. But it is not powerful. It is not versatile. And it should never be treated like something it isn't. That's the real story. The 22 short is not shocking because it's secretly powerful. It's shocking because something this small, this old, and this limited still has a place after more than a century and a half. So the next time someone laughs at the 22 short, remember this. It was here before almost every famous hunting cartridge people talk about today. It helped introduce generations of shooters to marksmanship. It stayed alive because it does a few specific things well. And even though it's tiny, it still demands the same respect as any cartridge that leaves a barrel. If you want more real-world, no-hype firearm and caliber breakdowns like this, subscribe to Guns Genius. Because we don't just talk about the biggest rounds, we explain the forgotten ones people misunderstand.